Hey guys, Sam from Tap here. Earlier I did a partial tutorial on our string stops, and I decided it would be necessary to give everyone a full overview of the models we have, how they function, why they're designed in the manner that they are, and how to set them up. I think that's one area that holds us back on this product. It's probably our most overlooked product. It's that people aren't sure how to set it up, if it'll fit their bow, and I think perhaps they don't think they need it either. And people time and time again after getting these exclaim how much of a difference there is in the tone, the overall volume of the shot, the felt vibration. These truly work. And at the heart of that is the titanium alloy tube, which contains Vortex, the material that we've designed that's used in virtually all of our products, in particular the stabilizers and the string stops, the boosters, the QDs. So that's inside of here. That helps to further kill out resonance and vibration. So I want to talk about the two models real quick here and explain some of the differences. So we have the coupler here is that I'm holding the 3/8 model, and it's called 3/8 because the inner diameter of these holes is approximately 3/8 of an inch. That's to accommodate bows that have a 3/8 inch port in the riser. The majority of bows do have that size. However, there are a number of other bow companies using different size stock string stop bars. So we have another model, that's the 309 model we call it. And you can see here clearly you have two different diameter holes. The bottom hole is your 3/8, the top is your 309 hole. We have a thinner diameter carbon fiber rod that goes with the 309 model versus the 3/8 rod here. When you have a bow such as a Hoyt, a Prime, some of the Elites, they do use a smaller diameter bar. This is the model you'll need for that. If you want to reach out to us and ask us questions and get specific input, you can certainly do that. We do that often. But one thing to keep in mind is, when you're setting it up, when you're looking at how it's oriented on your bow, you want to keep in mind a couple things when you're selecting the model. One is the amount of distance that you have from the edge of this riser port. And I can't tell you how many times I've asked people to measure that for me. So from the edge of here to the edge of the string, the face of the string here, what's that distance? Because in some cases there is a very short gap here. Hoyt bows in particular have a very short distance. There are a few bows we've encountered where even our 309 stop, which has a slightly shorter bar, this is one of the shorter bars actually, even that didn't fit. Now that's pretty rare. It's very rare actually, but nonetheless it's good to check that so we can verify if the adjustability range of our stops will cover this distance. That's not your brace height. Brace height, this is not the brace height. So don't just quote the brace height and assume that that's correct. So verify that, and then verify the diameter of the hole that you have in the riser. If you have a threaded bushing, it's inserted here. Some bows do. We have an adapter that can be used for that. Most bows do not have a threaded bushing. Some do have a bushing that's added, which has its own set screws and protrudes back off the riser. As long as it has set screws that allow the stock bar to be removed from it, let's say it might be out about here. As long as that bar can be removed, our string stop can be added. But then, of course, you'd want to check the distance from the edge of that bushing to the string. The 309 model is a little different in that we have, as you can see here, two different height coupler blocks. And this is a newer design. We will at some point replace the design, the existing inventory we have of these, with a style similar to this. But for the time being, this is still what we are selling for the 309 model. The reason for the higher block is this, and you can find out here why we did this just by looking at how this is set up. So on some bows, you will need to angle this outward. So you have a good bit of horizontal adjustability you can attain by angling that out. You can see here just how far out from the string that is. Some bows have an orientation from riser to string that has the string offset, and you would need to be able to adjust for that. We do recommend that our stops be set up so that we have the titanium bar on the upper side of the coupler. That's for a couple reasons. You can reduce oscillation of the string, bring it down to rest more quickly, reduce even more noise by having it a little higher on the string, closer to the center point. So this model can also do that. You can angle that upward and then bring your titanium bar to the top. You will end up with the TAP logo upside down, unfortunately. But in the future, we will design it so that that option's available with the logo in the correct location. So we want that to be up if possible. There are a lot of people that run them on the bottom. I've run this particular bow, as you can see where the serving is. I've run this bow for a long time with it on the bottom. It shoots phenomenal, very quiet. So when I say it's better, that's me splitting hairs. That's my nature. That's how I see things. And if you can make it better, you should. Albeit it may not even be to a degree that is noticeable by most people. But that's our preference for how that would be set up. And then as far as the node, you can see how I have this here. Now this is not tightened into the riser, but it is resting lightly against the string. It's not pushing back on the string, and there's no gap there either. When string stops first came out, I remember many years ago, the general rule of thumb people went with was, well, you should have a slight gap, credit card thickness type gap between your node and your string. In shooting these extensively, and I mean extensively, I'm talking thousands of shots, found that you get the best performance, most quiet shot when it is touching. Not pressing back, just touching. Pressing back can actually affect accuracy, and you don't want that. But you do want to potentially experiment a little bit with your bow. But that's what we found on numerous bows to be the most effective setup. So again, you have the 309 model, you have the 3/8 model. Both offer horizontal adjustment. This one offers a little bit less because of its height being slightly lower. It's about 1/4 of an inch difference. Still though, even with this, you can angle it out far enough to accommodate really any bow that's out there. These adjust to accommodate any bow that's out in terms of their distance that they can travel. So you have the ability to turn the titanium bar and then lock down on it on the set screws after you've got it in the location you want, so you can have it centered. So there's really no reason that with a little bit of work, a little bit of adjustment, experimentation, that this stop can't work for you. And I firmly believe that if more people considered that this might work for their bow, we'd probably see a lot more interest and a lot more sales of this particular product. Top performance, I can't tell you enough just how many people rave about the overall effect that this has on their bow. So you can check them out on our website, titaniumarcheryproducts.com. I'll get this video up there so that people can learn more about this product. If you have any questions, please reach out to us.